So welcome back to the Austrian Tourism Days 2021. This is nearly the end of day 2, but nearly, because as a conclusion we will present you a few highlights. Well, okay, this tourism, how many strong personalities, we will show you the personalities we have in this country and who can show you. And it's necessary to have these strong personalities in order to give good communication, to give good content. And that's why we want to show you the content community of Austrian advertisement. Okay, the microphone did not work. So we will show you the content trader community. This is a network of influencers all over Europe, all over Austria, 15 passionate personalities of the creative world, photographers, specialists of Austrian advertisement. We will present you these 15 persons, and you will have then a very interesting discussion. Sorry, the microphone doesn't work. Your interpreter cannot hear the speaker anymore. It's gone. The microphone is gone. Sorry, can somebody listen? The microphone is gone. So they are very cool community. So they succeeded, yeah. So now you can be convinced, and let's see Marlene and Lisa and the content community. Thanks a lot, Ina, for the presentation. We are happy to be here and to present you the Austrian Creators program, especially because we are convinced that this program will bring a very quick and effective tourism restart. What is Austrian Creators program? Why did we found it? Well, we say Austrian Creators are the content creator community of Austrian advertisement and of Austrian national tourist offices. And that's why we have founded this program. Well, in the social media area, we always have the challenge, how can we just create multiple and various and good content for Austria. And due to that requirement, because the headquarter of the Austrian tourist offices is Vienna, but we need content all over Austria, and we knew that we cannot cope with that alone, and that's why we were looking for creative, committed talents in the film and video and photographer world who are living all over Austria and who know how social media content should work. And parallel to that, we also knew that we have to, of course, show our global account with Instagram. We have already existing contacts. We have a colleague who is very committed to community management. And we also know that we have a lot of user-created content for our channel. And we have intensive contact with our users, among them also film artists, video artists. And we will start now with these 15 personalities, which we call the Austrian Creators. And with their experience, with their abilities, with their talent, they support us with creating content. And what is the perfect match? And that's really what helps us to find the best solutions. and it was quite a logical consequence to have a project like that. And we also wanted to raise our social media content to the next level. And with the creators, we have now professional contacts all over Austria, and we can react to all events. For example, during the Corona pandemic, when we had the first openings, then the creators supported us and gave us a topical picture of the local situation. For example, after the first lockdown last year, when cities started to live again after the first lockdown, we could show this, and we could also show safe skiing in our social media channels, and we could give this information to our users. Lisa, maybe you will talk a little bit about the content of the program. Yes, of course. How did we create the content of this program? So we had an agreement with barter agreement with our creators. We get structured content for our issues, for our subjects. We get pictures, we get moving pictures, and they get also, of course, compensation of our offices. How do these compensations look like? For us, it was important to integrate the creators from the very beginning, to develop the program together with them in order to find out what is attractive for these creators in order to join a program like this, what is interesting for them to create participation, to create contributions. We organized a workshop with them together, and we found three main factors what makes it interesting for creators to join us, to work with us. First, it is important that creators are very interested to improve their own know-how, to improve their abilities with video, with film, with taking pictures. That's why we organized workshops, had a training plan. The second issue, which was an added value for them, it was networking. So an exchange among different creators, establishing contacts. And the third issue was to be an official representative of the Austrian national touristic offices and enhance their own reputation in the touristic business, and also enhance their networking, be the official networking partner of Anto. So it was a kind of win-win situation for the creators who appreciate this compensation, and for us it was important to get content, and we can always adapt to certain events, and we always, of course, can fulfill our requests and our requirements. Who are the Austrian creators? The Austrian creators are a very creative mixture, a very creative groups. We have videographers, photographers, we have conceptionists, graphic artists, even a lady who wrote a culinary book, and the owner of a full-service marketing agency. So it's a great creative potential which we can use. And an important aspect is we concentrate on the production and on the concepts of the content, and we are not concentrating on the number of followers of the creators, and that's what makes us different from normal influencer agreements you might know. What would be, or what is the special characteristics of this project? Well, the special characteristics is the close contact we have established.
this close contact with our 15 people. We have integrated them into development from the beginning. For us, this was a new approach as well, and we saw that we can learn from each other, and we have had a very personalized exchange with them, which makes our relationship so special. Also during the Corona crisis, when we had to change many things, when we couldn't implement certain programs, when we had to look for new approaches, and in exchange with the creators, we were able to find solutions quickly and make sure that both sides were satisfied and that there was also fun and a lot of pleasure in working together. And for us, it is very important to create an added value for the industry. Maybe you would like to explain how our partners and the industry can benefit from this. We created this project about a year and a half ago, and it was very important for us to have the entire industry profit from this cooperation. We found great partners, and we can also recommend those contacts to you. And this is why we created the Austrian Creators website, where the program is again introduced to you, and the creators are also described in detail. You can find all contact information there. And due to our experience, which we have already collected with our creators, makes it sure that we can guarantee for a professional and smooth cooperation with them. These are people who know the field of tourism, who have already implemented other projects with tourism partners. They know the industry well, and they also know content production for social media. Our vision is to create the coolest community for content creators, and we want to connect this community with our partners, and we have lots of interesting ideas on how we want to drive this forward. Here we see the website where the creators are introduced. You can find detailed contact information. You can also see pictures, video projects, films, and, as I said, their contact information. So we have talked a lot about the program, how it emerged, about the contacts, and we would now like to move on a talk with some of the creative creators. So in a minute, we will start our discussion.
Ja, wie eingangs schon erwähnt,
as already mentioned, we are very close and have a very lively exchange with our creators. So I'm happy that 4 of them are here with us today. Welcome to Sebastian Burzeval, to Lukas Dürnecker, to Nina Baumgartner and Michael Dulnik. Thank you for being here today. I hope everything works well. Sebastian, you've been working in this project for more than a year. Why do you like being here? Well, there are several reasons. One reason is, or the advantage is, that I can represent Austria to other countries. I can show the most beautiful sites and locations, and I can share all this with a large group of users. And of course, it's the possibilities of cooperation among us, the exchange with the other creatives which are part of the group. And as you said, it's a very colorful group from the most diverse spheres, and it's just great to be able to cooperate with all of them. Thank you for your input, Nina and Michi. We are in a permanent exchange. We learn from each other. What was your highlight you would like to share with us today? As Sebastian said, being part of this Austrian Creators program to inspire the entire community and to be able to show the multifaceted variety of Austria, the culinary delights, beautiful landscapes, culture, history sites. Michi, what is the added value for you? Why you like to be here? For me, it is very cool to find synergies. It's possible to learn from each other, whether it's an individual, whether it's an agency. I think the exchange is very, very useful for all of us. And we are becoming better and better. And I am here because I am the Corinthian teacher of Marlene. This is the real reason. But yeah, the cooperation is great. There are so many synergies. Thank you. Yeah, our exchange is very, is a lot of fun, and there's a lot of humor as well. We have heard that the project is focused on authentic social media content. What are the most important demands for social media productions compared to classical productions? How do you see this, Nina and Michi? The goal is different. Advertising is not the most important thing. And the content has to be usable in a great variety of channels. There are so many different channels with different formats, and everything is very fast-paced and therefore quite complicated. And therefore, content should convince based on emotion. Would you like to add something to this, Lukas? Well, Michi is right. It is very important to be authentic and close to the user. Sometimes I do larger commercial productions, sometimes I do smaller social media productions, and there is a difference. But it is important to be authentic, to go deeper, sometimes to even show vulnerability and show that you are human, so that people can find themselves in the content. We know that the lifetime of content is very short, so it's very important to show this human factor and emotions. One question that might be relevant for our audience and which you might be able to share with us, any recommendations or tips you should of what should be considered before you start a production in order to make sure that the right output can be achieved? Are there things that should be clarified beforehand? Michi, Nina, maybe I may address this question to you. For us, it is extremely important to have this personal exchange between the customer and the creators. This is the basis for any project. And then the desires and the demands, which need to be communicated well. We need a detailed briefing, formats, legal aspects. We like to use certain examples so the customer can see what the content will look like. And I think regular and personal contact is very important. We, as creators, are creative sparring partners. We need to know where the customer stands and where we can meet the customer and provide individual support to our customers. Sebastian, would you like to add something, maybe a personal experience from your history? What I would like to mention is something that's very often forgotten of, is a detailed briefing in order to make clear what the demands are. But what is even more important is the personal exchange, not only in writing, but also maybe by phone or during a personal meeting. Then this will provide that all desires will be communicated, and maybe the creators can give tips or talk about their experience, and maybe they will find out of wishes and desires they haven't heard before. The more communication and exchange there is, the more creative and better the result will be. Thank you. Lucas, maybe one more question to you, if you'd like to add something. For me, it is extremely important a good feeling of the client, and it's always the question whether I'm the right one for a certain job. Before we talk about desires, wishes, and demands of the customer, I need to decide, am I the right one for a certain task? Because if I can't support an idea 100%, then the results might not be the best one, and you might not be able to succeed in the long term. If, for example, if you do a biking campaign and you do not bike yourself or cycle yourself, it might be difficult for you, and it might be difficult to create a credible package. So when you are the right one for a certain task, and if you are the more innovative type, then you might be the right one for a certain job. It's about the perfect match. This is also very important for us to have this colorful mixture of creatives, but also this link of cultural experts. What Sebastian, your shots on Instagram are legendary. Lucas and Nina, Michi, you cover a very broad spectrum. Culinary experts are very important and appreciated in our group. And as you said, Lucas, it's important to find for everybody the matching topic. Lucas, you talked of a project which you implemented beyond the program of ANTO.
So in the cooperation with you and within the program, we are very satisfied. And beyond the program, there are other projects where you have cooperated with us already, but also with other partners in the touristic business. Maybe you have give a few words and tell us about your experience. Well, the project I still want to do is a campaign which we did last year, a new program, just the empathy campaign to give hope after Corona. We visited people in their workshops, and it was a great experience for me to see different craftsmanship and to see the passion of these craftsmen and to talk with them. Well, and you learn a lot yourself. You learn new ways of living, and also in cooperation with you, this is still more important to get to know new people, to get new experiences. Well, of course, we had a film project, but for me and for myself, for my private life, it was interesting because there were things I've never seen before. And this was thanks to the project, thanks to the cooperation with you, and I'm quite thankful for this experience. In December, you had this production, and you did not only content for social media, but also for our website. And you also made interviews, for example, with the lady who was building violins. How was it with you working in an area like that? It's very interesting because my career started like that. I just had an exchange with people. I wanted to talk with people. Everybody has a story to tell. And especially this was in Vienna, this was getting to know people. And then I asked them, why do you do this? Why are you so passionate? And then it was a very passionate talk, and to combine all this with pictures and just to show the person as it is, the light the person deserves. It's great craftsmanship, and it was real great, and it was a lot of fun. And you see also how people think, how does their world look like, because we all live in our bubble, and so it was really interesting to see this. Thanks for these insights. I would like to go back to Nina and Michi. You also finished certain projects in our Österreich Werbung, and also a project with a touristic partner. It was the Niederösterreich Werbung. Maybe you can give us some inside information. Yes, of course, with pleasure. As you said already, with the Niederösterreich Werbung and the restaurant culture in Lower Austria, we have developed a concept for the reopening of restaurants with video films, and then another project was developed out of that. The next project where we had presented a concept for events in summer. And due to that project, you get to know so many people who have to tell their story. As Lucas already said, we are now doing a project for restaurants, for the gastronomy in Lower Austria, in very high fashionable restaurants, but also in traditional pubs. And it was so nice to see that everybody is working together to create a project like that. Thanks, Nina. Thanks, Michi. And now we are in a live transmission, and we can also answer questions. So if there are any questions from our audience, we would like to answer them now. One question is, how did you select the Austrian creators? This was in January 2020. We just had an invitation on our Instagram account, Visit Austria, with a short explanation of the program that we are launching that program. And we ask people to join us, and we ask them, why do you want to join? Why do you think you are the right person for our project? And we wanted to test a little bit the motivation, and the feedback was great. We were really surprised that the program was accepted very well. And the second step was to select certain persons. Of course, based on Austria, we wanted to have one representative in every province, and we wanted to show culture, movement, culinary events. And then we established contacts. We approached the creators. It was not easy to choose, of course, but we are very satisfied with our team, and I think we found a wonderful mix. We have a second question. Is there content which is made available without charges? Within the program and beyond the program, when we have the rights for the content, then we have an archive and picture archive, and this you can have access to this archive. And as we said before already, as we have explained before, we can establish these contacts, and we can give you the data of our creators, and then you can individually approach these creators. And otherwise, the content which we have when we have the rights, it is available in our archive. There is sometimes content where only we have the right to use it. Another question was, are you looking for additional creators? Well, we have a good team so far. We have 15 which are really working for next year, but still, of course, please approach us, and we will, of course, also store contacts in our office, because it might happen that one creator leaves or has no time anymore, and then it's always good to have additional creators. Well, I see we have no further questions from the audience. Well, then we offer, of course, to give our contact data, and you will find our contact data and the contact data of our creators on austriantouristdays.com. Here you have all the contact data. They are described. You can always send us a mail. And I think we are coming to the conclusion of our session. And as a conclusion, we would like to thank you for joining us. We would like to thank our 4 creators. So you have supported our session. You have given us an insight from the point of view of a creator. We are looking forward to the next cooperation and how we can boost tourism now within our project. I would like to say hello to you. And we have prepared a video film which was made last year in cooperation with our creators. And this was a very challenging year. It was the year of the corona pandemic, but we will be back stronger than ever, and you'll see this in this video film. And we were quite happy that we could present this Austrian Creator session at the Austrian Tourism Days. Thanks also from our side.
We were desperate and scared. We were tired and shed tears. We missed our freedom, our loved ones, and our everyday life. But even during those difficult times, there were sparks of hope. So let's look back and also remember the beautiful moments of 2020. The moments when we loved, tried out new things, got to know our home country better, and didn't give up. When we learned to appreciate also the ordinary things, took time to reflect, and became stronger than before. We are stronger than ever.
So we are stronger than ever. This is a very good slogan for the Tourism Days 2021, which are showing the comeback. Stronger than ever before. This is typical for the Austrian Tourism Days 2021, where we come back. Austrian Creators, a very good content creator network which has been established by Anto and which is living with these strong persons we have seen who are also ambassadors for the tourism in our country. So this is nearly the end of the second day of Tourism Days. We only have one more highlight, and you can just relax. We want to show you the wonderful nature of Austria, and we do this in a wonderful coffee talk. Michael Gigi will be your host during this coffee talk, so please stay with us. We will continue soon with the Austrian Tourism Days 2021.